Building Business with Soul with Coach Arliss, where we dive into the soulful approach to business, get nerdy with some brain science, and learn the nuts and bolts of how business owners build success through their passion. Let's take a moment to get focused and centered with one round of box breathing, where we will breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then breathe out for a count of 4. Let's begin. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Great job getting centered today. Today, we are going to focus on soulful sales. And I want to start out by asking you, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of sales or a salesperson? Frequently, when I ask this question, people say pushy, or that car salesman that just won't leave you alone, or those cold callers that call you and won't let you off the phone. And I'm here to tell you that there's a different way to do sales that is far more focused on building relationship and building connection than it is on being pushy or driving towards an end result. And if you want to learn more about how to do sales, even beyond today's show, I highly recommend that you look at Lynn Whitbeck's show. She is the goddess of sales, and she helps so many people really accomplish their sales goals from a more soulful approach. Okay, so let's dive in. When people think of sales and when they feel like they're not very good at sales, typically what I hear from people is that they don't like sales because they don't want to come off salesy or pushy. Or people say that they are reluctant to do sales because they have fear of rejection. They might even say that they have fear of being able to overcome objections, or they just in general lack confidence. The last thing that people typically tell me is that they don't like the tension that is involved in sales, and that this makes them not want to participate in the sales process. Well, today we're going to dive into how we can overcome these reluctancies to participate in the sales process in order to move through sales in a very soulful and holistic way, and also feel in alignment with our values and what we care about in the world. So let's talk about how not to come off salesy and pushy. Well, the way to not come off that way is to know that you are in collaboration with the person that's in front of you. So whether or not they're your client yet, you're in collaboration with them. You're of service to them. You are supporting them in their journey in that moment, whether they've decided to work with you or not. And you're supporting them in the choice that they make. So we all have free will to choose what supports us or not. And we want the people to be working with us that have that, yes, this is exactly a right fit kind of feeling, and not the people that feel pushed into a decision. And that's why each no is actually a gift, because it allows us to know, hey, this is not one of our clients. This is not one of the people that we're serving right now. They have another journey to go on instead. And it allows us to be really mindful of how we're spending our energy with people. And it allows us to really honor the people that are making that decision. One of the ways that we can build our confidence is to really know who our ideal client is. Really know what they look like. How our ideal clients operate in the world? What challenges or problems do they have? What are they trying to overcome? What are they celebrating in the world, or what plans are they making in their life right now? The more that we can get specific in identifying our ideal client, the more we will be able to identify our ideal client when they are in front of us. And it's more likely that our ideal client will also be able to identify us. So really get specific about who your ideal client is. And this will help you feel more confident when you're speaking to them, because you will know exactly what they're trying to overcome and how you can support that. Another step to closing more sales is to build rapport. Build that relationship, grow trust, and grow your understanding of who they are, and have them grow their understanding of you. This can be done in so many different ways. This can be done by having good communication with people one-on-one or in group settings. It can also be done by building rapport in the marketing that we're putting out, making sure that we're being consistent, that we are showing our authentic selves, that we are showing how we support people, and that we are showing that we can be trusted to support people. So build that rapport, build that relationship with those people that are your ideal customers or clients. Also, when you are building that rapport and you're getting clear on your ideal client, identify the challenges, needs, and wants of your ideal client. When we know that ideal clients' needs and wants, we're then able to see if we are serving them by meeting those needs and wants by what we have to offer, either in our products or services. If we're not, then maybe they're not our ideal client, or maybe there's a shift that needs to happen around what we offer. Also, if we identify what their needs and wants are, we can identify within ourselves how to speak to those needs and wants in an authentic, supportive way. We also want to be presenting solutions for people. So we want to treat the people that might potentially become clients with us as though they're already our client. Be of service to them, really give back to our community, and give resources. So I always recommend to all of my clients that they have some kind of free offering to give to somebody that wants to get to know them a little bit better, either their product or their service a little bit better. This can be in the form of a PDF, or a free video download, or a free class, or a free sample. And this allows people to get an idea of how you might be able to support them with either your products or services. When we're doing sales, the biggest thing we can do is honestly present the options to them to work with us, right? So give them an honest layout of all the ways that they could work with us if they want those options, and then support whatever choice they choose, right? It never feels good when people tell us, oh, you should have chosen this instead, or tries to push us into a choice. In fact, most of the time when people feel pushed into a choice, they end up wanting to choose the exact opposite. So the more that we can present the options and then be supportive of what they choose, the more that we're going to be honoring the person in front of us. Lastly, we can overcome objections, and we can also know for ourselves when to say this person isn't a good fit for us, and to not offer them ways to work with us. Not everyone out there is our perfect client. There are lots of different people that do similar types of services or products, and that's because not all people are meant for just one person, right? So I have lots of other business coaches and consultants that I refer to that do other things or do things in a different way than me. And I refer people to them that don't choose to work with me because I'm not that perfect fit for them. So, how do we present solutions in a supportive way? Well, one, be honest, right? Be honest with what you think would support someone or not. Be able to dive deeply, be authentic, use the tools that you have. Another way that we can be supportive of people when we are having a consultation or when we're interacting with people is to show our excitement and joy of being there. If you're excited to be doing what you're doing, if you're excited to be serving people and to be meeting new potential clients, then show that excitement. Show it in your facial expressions, show it in your words, show it in your body language. This might look like smiling or leaning in a little bit closer to hear somebody speaking. Show that excitement. Also, be confident in yourself. There's only one you out there doing what you specifically do. Even if there are other people that do something similar, you're the only person that's doing it exactly your way. So be confident in yourself. The more confident that you feel in your ability to serve, the people in front of you will feel confident in your ability to serve them. I also want to say that speaking slowly can also help people have a deeper understanding. In this high-tech world of short videos and short conversations, we have a tendency to speak very rapidly. This can allow for miscommunication to happen or a misunderstanding to happen or just lost information. When we speak slowly to others, we give them the ability to fully understand what we're talking about, and it also gives them the ability to process it in that conversation, and it allows them to have better understanding. So, how can we overcome objections? First is to try to address objections before they become barriers. So if you know that your ideal clients typically have certain objections to moving forward in the process, talk about them, bring them out into the light. The worst thing we can do is act like they're taboo and push them away and not address them at all, because that's not supportive. So bring them out into the light and talk about them. Talk about how people overcome them, or talk about how the support that you give overcomes them. This allows it to be out in the open, part of the open discussion. And this takes objections to being able to be overcome instead of becoming barriers that are harder to move forward from. You might use language with your consult or with your potential client or customer like, most people at this stage are considering these different things, or most people at this stage are thinking about these different options, or how this might positively contribute or negatively contribute to this area of their life or business. Another type of language that you can use is, if you're like me, then this might be what you're thinking right now. Or in a similar situation, I was having to overcome this thought process in order to move forward, right? You're human too. And I'm sure you've been in that sales situation yourself where you've thought, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is a good financial decision for me. I don't know if this works in my schedule. I don't know if I have this much time to give. I don't know if this product is actually going to do the thing that I need it to do. So if you've been in that situation and then eventually you move through that to work with somebody or to purchase a product and it ended up being positive, then you know how you went through that process of overcoming the objection yourself. So use yourself as an example. Show your human side, show what you've gone through. Another thing that we can do is when somebody says a concern to us, which might be called an objection, voice it back to them, right? This shows that you're really listening, that you're really paying attention to what their concern is. And it also gives them the option to say, yes, that really is my concern. Or no, it's more like this instead. It gives you a more focused point to then be able to address that concern more fully. Once we have a better understanding of where people are, then we can help walk them through to the next stage. The last piece and really critical piece of overcoming objections is to remember that you are working together, that you are partnered with this other person in helping them find the best choice for them, the one that supports them the most, and the one that they feel the most confident in. So you're supporting them. So be there in that support and know that you are working together to have that outcome. The last piece to always closing sales, or I should say this differently, the last piece to closing sales that is always needed is good follow-up. So follow-up is key. Remember that you're in this together, right? So follow up with them in a way that you would feel comfortable with. And you might even ask them, based on the platinum rule, how would you like me to follow up with you? Would you like to schedule a follow-up appointment to talk about this more? Would you like me to send you an email and follow up? Would you like me to send you a text message and follow up? Maybe we need to schedule a phone call. Have them let you know how they would want you to follow up, and then make sure to follow through on that follow-up. It shows that you care, that you're organized, and that you have the ability to do what you said that you would do. It also reminds people to go through the process of making a choice. Most people need multiple points of contact on a specific topic before they make a choice. So you may have had some pieces of contact before you did a consultation or before they come to your website to make a purchase. They may put something in the cart or have that consultation with you, and then the follow-up comes, right? Maybe it's a cart reminder, maybe it's an email, but follow-up is really, really important. So that's all we're going to talk about as far as having soulful sales today. I really hope that those points really help you move forward in feeling more confident in sales and feeling as though the energy that you have in sales is more positive and more about connecting and building relationship. I highly recommend that you take a moment today to recognize one thing that you appreciate about yourself. I know that you're doing so much to support yourself in your life and business. Thank you for joining me, Coach Arliss, on Building Business with Soul. If you would like to learn more about how I support entrepreneurs, please check out my website, soullutions.com. That's SOULLUTIONS.com. Join me next week when we dive into more soulful approaches to business.